All right. Hello, everybody. We are excited to do our first deep stretch on Fridays. And so, if you are not already in a seated position, you can start in a seated position. We're going to start just with a little breath work and getting our spine warmed up. So, if you want to sit crisscross applesauce, you can. You also can have your legs out wide. So, really, whatever's comfortable for you when you're sitting on the ground. But as we kind of start to breathe, I want you to breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth, and having a really nice, tall, and long spine. So, sitting really tall. Right now, I actually have my feet in butterfly. I don't love crisscross applesauce I don't like crisscross applesauce personally. So, my feet are just in butterfly, but I'm sitting nice and tall. I want to make sure my shoulders are not up to my ears. So bring those shoulders, drop them down. My hands are just relaxed on my knees. And as I inhale, looking straight ahead, filling my belly up as wide as I can, and slowly exhaling through pursed lips like you're blowing a whistle through my mouth. And as you're doing that, just breathing in and out, I want you just imagine that you're stretching your spine up closer to the ceiling, that top part of your spine, and then your tailbone, imagine that sinking deeper into the ground. So just elongating that whole spine to kind of just get us warmed up for deep stretching. So I like to say tip to tail, that's the top of your head to your tailbone, stretching and moving. You can shake your shoulders or shimmy back and forth as you're breathing, even just sway side to side. I know we're seated, but just kind of allowing our body to say, hey, we're here. We're going to get grounded. And then we're also going to just start stretching. Today, we're going to be holding poses for 1 to 2 minutes and really just deepening that stretch. And we'll be doing a lot of breathing. So just in through your nose, letting your shoulders soften. Good. Now, from this seated position, you can keep your legs in any way you want. We are going to do a little just cat-cow from the seated position. So even if you're in your chair, that works. I'm actually just going to extend my legs out a little bit because it's easier for me to kind of move. And so you're going to put your hands just on top of your knees or on the top of your quads. And you're going to push your belly out away from your body, arching your back. And you can press those hands into your quads to do that. And then go ahead and look up and back. So that's going to be our cow pose from the seated position. And as you inhale, filling that belly. And as you exhale, letting all that air out. And just really focusing on that arched back, that head back. Good. Now from this position, we're going to transition to cat. We're going to tuck that chin to chest. Again, you can anchor your body into those hands on top of your quads, push into them, and then go ahead and round your shoulders, round your back, and push your spine away towards your glutes or away towards the back wall. Just breathing in and out, again, getting that spine ready. And then at your own pace, go ahead and rotate between cat and cow. So you can inhale, exhale the cow, head goes back, belly goes out. And then you can inhale the cat. You can do that with several breaths in between, tucking that chin, pushing that spine out, using your legs as an anchor. You can push those hands in. So just feel where you might need a little bit more stretch if you slept wrong or anything that might be tight from the week because it is Friday. Good. All right, and then we're just going to do a little seated twist. So from here, again, your legs can stay in any comfortable position. You're just going to rotate those shoulders. So keep your hips square so your glutes, your seat is seated into the ground or in a chair. You're just going to rotate those shoulders to the left as far as you can go and make sure your head moves with your shoulders. You can reach back behind you and anchor your hand in the ground if you need to. Take that hand and anchor it into your quad and just twist. And we're just going to hold. Good, and breathing. Come back to center and you can go twist the other way. Ooh, this side's a little bit tighter for me. Making sure that your head's following your shoulders. Your hips are still staying square. And then go ahead and gently go back and forth a little bit quicker, not necessarily holding because we are going to be holding sooner. So just nice back and forth. Good. Beautiful. Just twisting. Perfect. All right. Go ahead and come back to center. And again, just one more time, I want you just to get comfortable. I want you to inhale and then just bring that spine elongated. So imagine that someone's gently pulling on your head up and gently pulling on your tailbone down. We are just grounded and ready, and our spine is warmed up. We're going to stay in this seated position. And so today, just so you know what to expect, we're going to start seated, then we're going to go to our kneeling, and then we're going to flow into standing. So we're kind of doing a flow to expansion, starting on the ground and then moving up to standing. Okay, so for this, we're going to do our seated forward fold first. If we're going to extend our legs, so please extend your legs out in front of your body. You can have your legs together. So I like to say like a zipper, you can zip your legs up so they're together. But again, if it's a little more comfortable, you can have them spread out apart. That's up to you. We're going to hold this forward fold for about 2 minutes. And so if you want to at any time move your legs around, you can. If your knees hyperextend, you can always put a little towel or a t-shirt under your knees to just make sure that they're comfortable as well. All right. So sitting up nice and high, you're going to inhale. As you exhale, bring your hands up, reaching towards the sun or the sky or the ceiling. Inhale. Exhale, slowly come down into that forward fold. Your toes can be pointed or flexed. That's up to you. You can also rotate between flexing and pointing as we hold this pose for about 2 minutes. I am watching the clock. And we're just breathing. And if you want, you can also take your hands and grab the inside of your calves or the outside of your calves or the tops of your toes and just pull your chest a little bit closer to the ground. Inhaling and exhaling, leading with the chest, not with your head. So that chest is that piece that's coming towards the ground. And just letting your spine go as long as it can as you deepen into that fold. We've been going about 45 seconds. So you have about 1.5 minutes left, and just making sure you're breathing. And as it starts to get easier, just make it a little more uncomfortable and try to go a little deeper. I'll give you a 30-second warning on each of these kind of holds so that you can just push yourself a little bit more. As our body relaxes into them, we typically can go a little bit deeper. And then you might find that, 40 minutes into the workout, you really can go much deeper because, your body's just really starting to warm up.
It kind of reminds me of yin yoga. That's what
Yeah.
it feels like.
Yeah. Just hold it. We're just holding things longer, which, doesn't always happen. We got about 30 seconds left. So if you can point or flex your toes and then just push yourself deeper into that spot, go ahead. I like to pull a little bit. So again, leaning with chest, but I'm going to pull myself down to the ground a little bit just to get a nice stretch in those hamstrings. Perfect. About 15 seconds. Good. All right. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're going to take our legs out into a very wide V. So as wide as you can go. One thing I will say with this as well is we'll be in this wide-legged V for like 2 stretches. So if it starts to get easy, you can, again, just scoot your glutes up, kick your heels out to kind of keep your V as wide as it can go the entire time. We're going to do a nice little side bend here. Let's take Our left hand, you can place your left hand, just relax it on the ground or on your knee. Take that right hand, reach it up over your head, over your ear, and we're going to reach towards our left toe. So reaching and stretching towards that left toe. So nice side bend, breathing into your ribs. And with each exhale, can you go a little deeper, holding that stretch? And you want to feel a nice stretch, not only in those hamstrings or your inner thighs, but can you feel a stretch in your obliques? And my obliques are a little sore from what we did on that seated workout yesterday. So nice little stretch there. If you want to lean forward a little bit, you might feel a little bit of a difference as you're doing that side stretch. Got about 1 minute left on this side. Excuse me, 30 seconds left on this side because this is just a little bit less than the other one.
Stacey, are we trying to keep our glutes down?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, if you do try to like imagine like there's two anchors in your glutes, you might feel that your stretch is a little bit different. But really, with this deep stretch, you can feel where you need to go to. So I wouldn't worry too much about that for this one.
Okay.
Yeah, but good. It's a very good question. All right, we're gonna go to the other side in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're sitting up straight. Relax those shoulders. Inhale. As you exhale, bring that left arm up towards the sky over your ear and reach towards the right side. I always find when I'm doing left and rights, I find which one is more tight or how different it feels when I start after I did one side. And we're holding these stretches for about 1 minute and 30 seconds. And as you exhale, you can let all that air out, and as your belly deflates, can you go a little deeper? And again, you can play with pointing and flexing your toe. You can even hold the top of your foot if you want to. That's totally fine too. And if you're in that stretch, because Jeanette had mentioned it, it's actually really interesting to try to re-anchor your, I would say, your opposite butt cheek into the ground as you're stretching, and see how different that feels or how much longer you can get, right? You want to lengthen your whole body as much as you can. We have about 30 seconds left, so if you can go deeper, let's go deeper.
I guess I better be careful what I ask for.
No, it was a great comment. And for me in stretching, I always want us to have that good foundation, but I focus a little bit less on like technique and more on what are you feeling. But there is a balance, so I think that's really good. It was helpful. About 10 seconds left. We're going to keep in this wide-legged stance for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Gently come back up. Go ahead and relax those shoulders. And this is the time, if you feel like you can widen that V in your legs, you can scoot your glutes up or move your heels back. And we're just doing a wide-legged fold here. So same thing as we did before, but I'm going to want you to let that weight of your torso and your chest, sink to the floor. So sitting up straight right now, my legs are in a V, my shoulders are relaxed, my spine is long. I'm going to inhale. As I exhale, bring those hands up over my head. Before you go into that forward fold, I want you to reach up to the sky and imagine you're climbing a ladder, and just try to get those arms up a little bit higher. So I'm kind of rocking my shoulders up and up again like I'm climbing a ladder, just to get a little bit more stretch. And one more inhale. Exhale, slowly go into that forward fold forward, reaching your hands out away from your body. Good. And you can also, once your hands are on the ground, you can walk those hands forward if you like, and just walk them forward and hold. Breathing in And as you exhale, allowing yourself to go deeper. And if the wide-legged stance is a little bit hard for you, we will be coming out of it in about a minute. And we'll be going into a figure 4 seated stretch. Breathing for about 22-ish more seconds. You can point or flex your toes. Inhaling, exhaling. Can you go a little deeper? Good. Inhale. Exhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly come back up to that seated position. Go ahead and just shake out your knees a little bit. You can move your legs around if you'd like, just so you don't get too locked up. We're going to do our figure 4 seated stretch. So for this, you can have one leg out in front of you, directly in front of you. And we're going to do our right leg first. So both my legs right now are out in front of me. I'm going to take my right leg and hold it by my right ankle, pulling my right ankle over my left knee. So just behind my left knee and my quad, and just pulling that leg closer to me and just holding it. Now, you can lean back in this stretch, or you can kind of lean forward and feel how that stretches you differently. So again, if you lean forward, you should feel more of a stretch in your outside hip flexor and that quad area. And if you want to have a double stretch, you can flex your toe, your left toe towards your face, and you're going to get a calf stretch too. So just breathing and holding. Both my hands are kind of holding my leg in place to just sit in that figure 4 position over my leg on the ground. And when I do that, I'm leaning back a little bit. So I'm like, oh, I'm going to lean forward just to get a deeper stretch. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling for about 30 more seconds before we switch. Good. So you can sit tall, but hinge forward. So leaning forward to get that deeper stretch. Good. Hopefully you're feeling that outer hip soften, so that hip flexor area that gets really tight if we sit a lot. You want to feel that soften for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and shake out those legs. Both my legs are extended. I'm going to do my left leg now. I'm going to take that left ankle and I'm going to pull it over towards my right knee, gently letting it rest just behind my right knee. Now, if you can't quite get there, I would go just past your knee. Typically, I try not to put my ankle right on top of my knee because it's uncomfortable. So just pull it to where you feel comfortable. Inhaling and exhaling. And as you exhale, deepening that stretch by hinging forward. Soften those shoulders. So if your shoulders are in your ears, soften them. You want to have a nice straight back while you hinge forward to get that deeper stretch. And again, you can flex your toe on your right leg so you get a calf stretch at the same time. And we're breathing. We have about a minute left on this one. Again, inhaling and exhaling, and hopefully feeling that hip soften and get a little more comfortable with every breath. Inhaling and exhaling. About 20 more seconds. So if you can go a little deeper, go a little deeper. I just felt my hip relax, which is really nice. Good. Inhale. Exhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and shake out those legs. We're going to go into the butterfly position. We're going to do a butterfly fold, and then we'll be done with our folds for class. I mean, at least for a seated one. So put those bottoms of your feet together and then tuck those heels in. You can use your hands, put your hands on your ankles, and just bring those heels towards your glutes. Good. Now, if you want to, just sit up straight. Well, not want to. You should sit up straight. Sit up straight and just drop those shoulders down a little bit. And right from here, we're just going to breathe a couple times while you kind of sit into this position. Now for this forward fold, instead of having our arms come up overhead or reach out, I'm actually just going to have you can use your hands as an anchor. So my hands are right now are just above my ankle. I'm going to inhale. As I exhale, I'm going to pull my chest towards my feet. So just keeping my spine as long as I can and then just pulling my chest towards my feet. And once I kind of get there, you can let gravity do the rest of the work as you're inhaling and exhaling. Good. We're going to hold this for another minute and a half. And then we'll get into kind of our kneeling and lunge series. And as we're doing that, we'll do some stuff lying on our belly too. But if at any time you just get a little uncomfortable being on your knee, just let me know and I have a couple modifications. About one more minute. Can you go a little bit deeper into that forward fold with the butterfly position? You can pull those heels back towards your glutes. Good. Yep. Breathing. 15 seconds. Inhale. Exhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Awesome job. We are going to move to all fours, so we can go into tabletop on all fours to start, and then we're going to go into our low lunge, but I'm going to flow you into it. So if you just adjust yourself so that you are on all fours, just like you were about to do cat-cow, but we're not going to do cat-cow. And then you're just going to come off your hands so that you're on both knees. And let's do our right leg first. You're going to take your right leg, put it out in front of you. Excuse me. And this is going to just be a low lunge, but it's going to be, your foot's going to be grounded. So my front foot, my right leg is out in front of me flat, and my left knee is just in the ground. So it's just grounded in the ground. If you want to, you can lift your knee up, but that's up to you. And you're just going to push your hips towards the front of your right leg. So just basically push your hips forward. So this is just a low lunge, and we're just holding it. You can look up if you want and even arch your back a little bit. Now, if this is uncomfortable on your knee, you can do this standing. You can put both hands on the wall and move your body about a body length away. And while both hands are on the wall, you're going to have that right leg forward in a lunge, your left leg all the way back, and you're just going to keep your chest up straight, lean back a little bit, and look to the sky as you're pushing those hips forward for that right low lunge, or sorry, for that low lunge on your right leg. And we're still holding this. Good. Keep going. About 15 more seconds. We're just doing this one for 1 minute because we're going to be on this leg for 1 more minute. From here, you're not going to adjust. You're just going to push your hip back. So now you're going to push your hips back while your right leg extends. And you can put your heel in the ground with your toes up. And you can put either hand on either side. So basically you're just, instead of lunging and pushing forward, you're now pushing back. So I put my heel in the ground and I'm pushing my hips back as I hinge forward. Both my hands are on the ground and I should feel a really good hamstring stretch. And I'm just breathing. So my hips just shifted back. My hands went down on the ground. You can flex those toes to the sky. or towards your face for a nice hamstring stretch. We're holding that for about 30 more seconds. This is the half split hamstring stretch. And then we're going to switch sides. We can give this left knee a break. And again, if you need the wall, you can do the same thing on the wall. You're just pushing back and curling those toes up to your face. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's put that leg down so we're back into almost tabletop. You can shake out that left leg. Bring that left knee through so that our left foot is on the ground. Our knee is in a 90-degree angle. Your hands can be on your hips if you like, or at your sides. And you're just going to push those hips towards your knee, basically pushing those hips as you lean back a little bit. And you can go ahead and look to the sky as you breathe, inhaling and exhaling. Try to keep those hips square and really stable if you can. Good. Pushing that hip forward. Breathing in and exhaling. We have about 20 seconds left. And then we're going to go right into that half split hamstring stretch where we push our hips back and our leg extends. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Push your hips back. That leg goes out extended. And just go ahead and breathe. You can put both hands on the ground if you want. You can rest them on your leg that's extended. You can put your toes up to the sky if you like. And we're just holding this position. Good. Perfect. Keep going for about 20 more seconds. And then we're going to go to our belly for some quad stretch and the Sphinx chest opener. All right, for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice, good breath. And go ahead and go down to your belly. Good. So from here, we're going to do a nice quad stretch. And so let's do our right foot first. You're going to grab your right ankle. If that's hard to do, what you can do is actually sit up as well and pull your ankle towards your glute. So we're going to just grab our right ankle or our right pant leg and just pull that leg towards our glute. And as we do that, you can lift up a little bit to get a nice stretch in that quad. Remembering to breathe, inhaling and exhaling as we hold this leg for 2 minutes or 1 minute. This one's 1 minute. 1 minute on each side. And you can also, if you were on your belly, you can also rotate to your side. That might help you also grab your foot a little bit easier as well. We're just breathing, letting everything release in that leg. Good, for 15 more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful job.
It'll go away. I can't get it.
I had to, for my right leg, I always have to lean over. So if you can't get it, you can also.
No, I mean the phone.
Oh, gotcha. I couldn't hear it. We're going to do that other leg. So go ahead and grab your opposite ankle. Pull that heel towards your glute and hold. Breathing. Good. I'm really just trying to relax into it, even if it's uncomfortable. Oops, just lost my foot. You can lift up and pull closer to your glutes. That might give you a deeper stretch as well. You have
How do
about
you
30
do this
seconds.
on your side?
What'd you say?
How do you do this on your side?
If you roll on your side, you might be able to just get that top leg that's closest to the ceiling easier. So you're doing the same thing. You're just kind of giving yourself a little more wiggle room instead of your belly.
That's my other knee replacement that doesn't like wide stretches.
Understood. All right, about 10 more seconds. And then we're going to go back to our bellies in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, this is just like the cobra pose, but we're going to do it a little different. So this is called the Sphinx chest opener. And so what you're going to do is you're going to take your hands, if you can, and you're going to place them on the small of your back. And then we're going to lift our chest up and our head up like we would in the cobra pose. Now, if it's really hard for you to have your hands behind your back or at your sides, feel free to put them flat on the ground and then press your chest up for a typical cobra pose. So for the Sphinx chest opener, we're going to lie on our belly. You can have your hands at the small of your back, clasped. Your arms can be clasped if you want. That's an interesting word to say. And you're going to start to feel maybe that chest opening. You're going to then lift your chest up, not as high as you can, but just lift your chest up with your head up, and we're just going to hold it. Now, as we do this, press your belly button into the ground. Inhaling, filling your lungs like a balloon, and exhaling. And as you exhale, try to squeeze those shoulders together, opening that chest. So this is a chest opener, a shoulder opener. Now, if your neck is disappeared, you no longer have a neck, go ahead and drop those shoulder blades down towards your glutes, squeeze them together, and pay attention to where your neck is. We're holding this for 2 minutes. This is a longer pose to hold. Focusing on breathing, feeling our chest expand. If your fingertips can clasp a little bit more, go ahead. You might feel that your shoulders will start to decompress and relax so you can actually stretch more. Good. Looking up. You can also alternate looking down if you want. You have about 30 seconds left. Breathing. Imagining all that stress and worry melting away from our shoulders and our neck. That's where we keep it. Opening our chest and making room for new. Good. 15 seconds. If you can clasp those hands a little bit tighter, open that chest a little wider. Let's do it. Big breath in. Exhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and relax. Let's put our hands out to a T. So go ahead and just put your hands out to a T, and you can rest your forehead if you want on the ground, tucking your chin to your chest. And we're just gonna breathe. You can kind of shimmy your shoulders. So almost imagine like your right shoulder dips and touches the ground in front of you. Your left arm dips and touches the ground in front of you. And you can walk those hands out to a Y, like you're about to do the YMCA. And use your fingertips to walk and stretch your arms out a little bit wider, a little bit farther away from your body. And my head's still looking down in the ground. Good. Now walk those hands up so they're straight above you, just like you're in a whole body's in an I. And then walk those fingertips away from your shoulders, really extending that upper back and that lower back. And we're just going to hold here, pushing the weight of your hands and your palms into the ground. With each breath, just relaxing into that stretch a little bit more. Stretching and reaching that shoulder blades and spine. This is really stretching those lower back abs as well. About 15 more seconds, and we're going to go back out to the Y. Walk those hands to the Y position, reaching out. And again, you can kind of almost pedal your shoulders. So your right shoulder can dip towards the mat. Your left shoulder can dip towards the mat. And you might feel that stretch underneath your armpit, underneath your, it's not your soleus. I'm forgetting what muscle it is, but basically your underarms. Good. Walk those fingertips out a little bit more in that Y position. See if you can get a little more uncomfortable and looking straight through the ground. On your next exhale, walk those hands back out to the T. Inhale. Exhale. Walk your hands to the T. And you should feel your shoulders open up a little bit. Walk those fingertips out away from your spine. Breathing in and exhaling out. In the next inhale, exhale, we're going to actually walk our hands down to like a reverse Y. I guess that could be a V, maybe. But either way, inhale. Exhale, walk those hands down towards your glutes. So they're not touching your glutes, but they are in an upside down V or Y. I'm still looking straight into the ground, and I'm just walking my fingertips back, pressing my hands into the ground, and I'm breathing. And as you're breathing, you now have a neck again. I want you to imagine that someone's gently pulling on the top of your head. Your shoulder blades are dropping down towards your glutes. Good. On the next inhale, exhale, you can relax before we go into some tabletop stretches for some downward dog. Inhale, exhale, go ahead and relax. You can relax your arms, you can shake your body if you want to. Let's just give ourselves about a 30-second break. And like I said, we're going to go into a tabletop stretch where we do some downward dog. Do a little more hamstring and hip work. I might actually throw a couple cat-cows in there because we are doing really good on time. So, all right. On your next inhale, exhale, let's get into that tabletop position. And you can do a little cat-cow as you flow. Same thing we did in the beginning, but this time we're on all fours. My wrists, elbows, and shoulders are all in line. I don't have, my back is flat right now to start in tabletop. My knees and hips are in line. And you can flow with your breath from cat to cow. So for cat, you're going to tuck that chin to chest, tuck in your pelvic floor, round that spine up towards the ceiling, pushing your weight through your hands so that your shoulder blades round, your head rounds. So it's just like if a cat was walking on a windowsill and you scared them, their spine goes all the way up. That's what we're doing. And so if you want to keep getting that spine closer to the ceiling, you can actually push your shoulders up a little bit more or wiggle into it too. So don't feel like you have to be static. Wiggle. Wiggle your hips, wiggle your shoulders. Can you feel a little bit more movement? And when you're ready, go ahead and drop into that cow. The belly hangs. This is where we can relax. Let our belly and our muscles just be, right? And again, you can still shimmy your shoulders a little bit if you want, just to get a little bit of stretch. And then that head goes back, looking to the ceiling. And we're just breathing. Good. And as you want to, you can flow between both. And we're going to go to our downward dog in just a minute. Now for downward dog, we are going to try to hold that pose for a minute. If that's challenging, that's okay. You can take breaks. All right, on your next inhale, exhale, you're going to tuck your toes under. So tuck your toes so that they're now on the mat as leverage. And then you're going to use your hands and press your hips up to the ceiling for downward dog. As your hips are up in the air, you can then focus on your heels. You want your heels to come down towards the mat as your hands are pressing your hips up. And you can press your head back through your hands to get those heels closer to the ground. And we're just holding and breathing. Now we're holding for a minute. And again, if you need to take breaks, you can. That's totally fine. Just try to take maybe 5 to 10 seconds and then go back up. And we're breathing. This is stretching not only our spine, but our calves, our hamstrings, our Achilles tendon. This is a really great stretch. About 15 more seconds. You can do it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly come back down to tabletop. You're going to widen your knees out. Your heels are going to come together. All right. We're going to go into that child's pose. You're going to push those hips back towards your heels. You can extend your arms out in front of you. Look straight through the ground and breathe. You can rest your head on the mat. You can drop to your elbows if you'd like, if you don't want to be on your wrists anymore, and still just shift that weight back to your heels. And we're just breathing. Good. Almost done with class, everybody. You're doing a great job. All right, we're going to go back to tabletop at our next inhale, exhale to do 1 more minute of downward dog. Inhale and exhale to tabletop. Good. Now let's tuck those toes. Inhale and exhale. Downward dog. Press those hips up. Head goes back and push those heels down for 1 minute. Good. Breathing. Allowing any of that tightness to just leave our body, or maybe we're storing some things we don't need to store anymore. 10 more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly come back down to tabletop. We're going to do our child's pose 1 more time. Push those heels together. Our knees go out nice and wide. And then you press those hips back towards your glutes and go ahead and relax your belly, looking through the ground or resting your head on the ground. And we're just breathing. Good. From here, we are going to stand. And so I just want us to make sure that we don't get up too fast. So on your next inhale, exhale, let's get to our standing position. All right. Inhale, exhale, slowly stand up. Perfect. Making sure we're just catching our breath. Making sure we're not like getting any whiplash. Not whiplash. Good. So for this one, we're just going to do the ragdoll twist. And so what that is your feet are going to be stationary. My feet are at a comfortable distance, so hip width distance for me. And your feet are going to stay stationary, toes pointing forward, and you're just going to start to twist back and forth. So my arms are loose and relaxed by my side. I'm twisting my shoulders, and I'm going to let the centrifugal force of my arms basically just move back and forth. You might hear that I'm like tapping my body a little bit. Basically, they call it the rag doll because you're just going back and forth, twisting. My head follows my shoulders. You can go as big or as small as you want. If you get dizzy, that's okay. You can just do slower torso twists or core twists. Good. And you're just keeping those feet stationary, and you're just twisting back and forth, inhaling and exhaling. Good. On the next inhale, you're going to bring your hands up. So inhale, bring those hands up to the sky. And as you exhale, just shake your hands down, all the way down to your toes. Inhale all the way up. And then exhale, shake your hands all the way down to your toes. And you can kind of aggressively shake too if you want, just kind of like a dog, in the rain. And you're just going to keep inhaling up and then exhaling down, shaking everything out. And on your next one, you can add your legs in. So you can inhale up, and as you come down, you can pedal your feet. You can shake out your legs. We're just kind of just getting anything else off that we need to, off our bodies. Just making sure we kind of used everything we wanted to use today. Good. Just one more time. Inhale all the way up if you're on your inhale. And then exhale all the way down. Good. Go ahead and shimmy your hips if you want to. Shake your hips. We're going to inhale now and just do a regular forward fold. So inhale, arms go up to the sky. As you exhale, hinge at the hip, tuck your spine, vertebrae by vertebrae, coming down towards your toes. And you're just going to hang here. And we are going to hang here for 1 minute. You can ground yourself by putting your hands on the ground or on your calves or your knees. And I want you to really try to, bend yourself in half, but really let your upper body relax. Maybe you'll feel some really good stretching in your spine, where maybe it feels like your back is cracking or your neck is, and you're just letting everything hang loose. You can grab both elbows if you want to and just rotate your elbows back and forth, or not rotate, but kind of shrug your shoulders back and forth to get a deeper stretch in your back. You can shake your head yes or no, and really just feel what your body needs as you're in this forward fold. But remembering to do really big inhales, filling that belly up, and really big exhales, letting it all go, so that as your air goes out, your spine can decompress more, giving you a really good fluidity in that spinal fluids, that spinal column. Good. Just feeling that spine lengthen and soften. Inhale. As you exhale, slowly come up. Tuck that tailbone first. And as you stand breathing, each vertebrae stacks on top of each other until you're fully standing. Excuse me. Good. Let's roll those shoulders backwards. Nice and slow. Exaggerating the movement. Come all the way up to your ears. Push your shoulder blades together. Really exaggerating those shoulder rolls, nice and slow. We're just going one way right now. We'll go the other way in just a moment. Make sure you have soft knees. So don't have your knees super tight. Just have some soft knees so we make sure we're still getting blood flow. And then go ahead and rotate your shoulders the other way. Rounding your shoulders forward. Rounding your back. Good. Go ahead and take your right ear and drop it towards your right shoulder. You can take that right hand and gently place it on the top of your head, pulling your right ear closer to your right shoulder. And that left hand that's just relaxing, you can start to walk your fingertips towards your left knee. So basically just try to pull your left hand towards your toes a little bit. You'll feel a deeper stretch in that neck. Good. Make sure you're breathing. Go ahead and come back to center. That left ear is going to go towards that left shoulder. Engage that core if it's not engaged right now. Take that left hand, gently pull your head closer toward your left shoulder. And that right hand that's just hanging, go ahead and pull those fingertips or press those fingertips towards your toes to get a deeper stretch into that right neck. Good. Come back to center. I want you to widen your stance out, so a little bit wider than shoulder width apart. Your feet can be straight ahead or at a 45-degree angle. And you're going to place your hands on the back of your small of your back or on your hips. And you're going to press those hips forward as you lean back and look to the sky. And I really want you to extend your neck back as far as you can, imagining your whole neck opening up. And breathing. This might cause you to cough, which is okay, because what I'm doing is I'm opening my chest, so squeeze those shoulder blades together as your hands are on the small of your back, and you're extending that neck as high as you can. As you can tell, I am coughing because sometimes when we have bad posture, also me, or we're at our computer all day, we really concave our chest and our breastbones, and so this really opens it up. So big breaths while you're in this position. And if you're coughing, just let it out. It's just everything opening up. On your next inhale, exhale, you're going to tuck your chin. Inhale. Exhale, tuck your chin to your chest and go ahead and take your two thumbs and just push your chin gently into your chest a little bit more. Good. And finally, we're just going to end with some mountain pose. So in the same position with our feet, you can take your hands and palms facing them forward. You can look up a little bit towards the sun. I think this is mountain pose. Either way. And we're just going to breathe for 1 minute. You're going to inhale and exhale. Slow. We're just going to bring everything down. If you want to, you can breathe in for 4 counts, hold for 4 counts, and exhale for 4 counts. Another one of mine is breathe in for 4, hold for 6, exhale for 8. Thanking our body for showing up today and allowing ourselves to take time for ourselves for a nice, good, deep stretch. One more big inhale and exhale, come back to center. And that is class for today, everybody. Welcome to Deep Stretch of July on Fridays.